Afternoon guys, welcome to Fundamental Briefing. Not too many numbers to go through today, so just quickly having a look through the calendar. We have the Red Book at 1:55, not expecting any market moving news from that. 2:45 though, we have ISM New York Index. Last time that came out was 673.8. We don't tend to get a forecast for what that's going to be. At 3 o'clock we have durables revisions. We also have factory orders. Expected at minus 2.2%. Previously it was minus 0.7, but the range is huge. It's from plus 0.4 to minus 3.5. And then also at 3 o'clock we get the IBD economic optimism. Doesn't tend to move the market of itself. So I'll just quickly show you what's happened in previous months with all these numbers. So this is the, excuse me, can't even remember the name of the number. This is the ISM New York Index. As you can see, being absolute pretty much straight line stuff from 2009 onwards and just marching onwards and upwards. Again, now if we have a look at factory orders, you can see this is pretty volatile, and in fact we had this spike up here towards the end of 2014, July 2014, sorry, and then the spike lower again in August 2014. I can't actually remember off the top of my head what the purpose of that, what the cause of that was. Anyhow, as you can see, it's often volatile, spikes up and down, and as a result doesn't tend to move the market a great deal. And finally the IBD TIP Economic Optimism Index, which has been going up pretty much in a straight line from around about mid 2014. So just to show you the market reaction, so if we have a look, this is for factory orders. Last time in December, actual came in at minus 0.7. It was expected up 0.1. So if we just take a look at the Bund, as expected, the Bund had a gentle rally, not exactly a stellar move, roughly 8 to 10 ticks before sort of peaking out and coming back off again. And likewise, the S&P, frankly, minimal reaction, maybe 2.5, 3 handles, bit of consolidation. And then as you can see, really it just chopped around in a range, didn't do a great deal at all. So frankly, none of the numbers that we're getting out this afternoon are expected to particularly move the market. So other things that may move the market this afternoon though, we do have a couple of speakers. So at the same time as these figures are released at 3 o'clock, we have Mr. Bullard, one of our favourite Fed speakers, currently a non-voter, considered a leaning hawk, but frankly it seems to depend which day of the week it is and which side of the bed he gets out of. We do have to be cautious with Bullard. He has got a history of moving markets. He has got a history of being used by the Fed to perhaps float a few ideas. So we need to pay attention and listen to what he's saying. Apparently he's discussing economics in Newark. So 3 o'clock, keep your ears open for Mr. Bullard. That may well be more important than the actual numbers that are coming out. Later on at 4:45, Mr. Kochilakota, who is also a non-voter, considered a dove, speaking on the economy in St. Paul's, Minnesota. Again, possibly going to move the market. President Obama does speak later on in the day about the budget proposal, not expected to move the market, frankly. And none of the earnings after 9 o'clock are particularly big. There's a few luxury item manufacturers like LVMH, people like Disney, but nothing that's substantially going to move the market. So no real earnings after the market to worry about. What there is on a fundamental basis is there is still a lot of chatter coming from Greece and about Greece and from the EU Commission, etc. I just want to point a couple of things out here. At the moment, the Greeks are attempting to formulate a policy. It's only a few days after the election. They are what I would describe as flying some kites. In other words, they are coming up with proposals and seeing what the reactions are. And the market is, in general, looking on it favourably. But, and this is my point, is what we have not yet heard is anything from the German finance ministry, from the Bundesbank, from Mrs. Merkel. So we've heard a lot of proposals and a lot of things that sound interesting, but we haven't heard the other side. We haven't heard a yeses or a no, or perhaps we're having a think about that. And so just be a little cautious. You know, the Greeks are playing politics, and who can blame them? They're doing a good job of it, and they are attempting to see what they can get away with, basically, and we don't know what that's going to be just yet. So just be a little cautious about the source of where it's coming from, what the motivation is. For me, the really big news will be if we hear something from Mr. Draghi, or if we hear something from the German finance ministry which is favourable towards what the Greeks are saying. That's where you really have to listen out, and that's where the sustained moves, rather than the sort of knee-jerk moves, the really sustained moves are going to come for both the currency and for the other markets. Finally, although I'm not supposed to talk about technicals on here, Dan has asked me to mention this because by the time he does his technical report, the bonds will be open. But those of you, what you should all be doing is putting up a US 10-year pit-only daily chart. And there is an island reversal potential. Yesterday's low, which left a gap to the downside, and the low was 130.19, and the market is currently trading at or around that price, or at least it was a few minutes ago. Potential for an island reversal. These things don't crop up very often. At 120 is the official pit open, so that's when we'll be able to see. So potential trade there for those of you who look at 10 years. Apart from that, take it easy this afternoon. As I say, the numbers are not particularly important or relevant in my opinion. The speakers may well be, and any comments out of Greece that come from Persian areas could also move the market. So good luck, take it easy. Dan will be on at 2 o'clock as usual with the afternoon technical briefing. Thank you.